Okay, good evening, folks, and welcome to a special meeting of the Town Council of Happy Valley Goose Bay. Before we start the meeting, I have a proclamation here that I'm going to take care of, and it's We're Red Canada Day, February the 13th, 2024. Whereas heart disease is the #1 killer of women worldwide and the leading cause of premature death for Canadian women, a fact unknown to many women and their healthcare providers. And whereas the Canadian Women's Heart Health Alliance is an organization of volunteer health professionals and patients working hard to improve women's health and women's hearts. Whereas We're Red Canada Day is celebrated annually to raise awareness for all Canadians, but especially Canadian women, to be mindful, curious, and proactive in the management of their heart health and wellness. And whereas we want to see better prevention, diagnosis, and care, and fewer women dying prematurely from heart disease. Therefore, I, George Andrews, Mayor of the Town of Happy Valley Goose Bay, do hereby proclaim February the 13th, 2024, We're Red Canada Day in the Town of Happy Valley Goose Bay. And I'll sign the proclamation. All right, so that is done. Okay, so this is a special meeting of the Town of Happy Valley Goose Bay. It's the 53rd meeting of the 13th elected Town Council, and we are joined this evening by our Deputy Mayor by phone, and I will ask her if she would mute her phone till we get to the voting, just to stop the background noise. So she is here. Call the meeting to order, and we have an adoption of the agenda for the 53rd meeting in front of us, and I'll accept a motion to accept that agenda as presented. Moved by Councillor Rumbold, seconded by Councillor Brumfield. Discussion or changes to the agenda? Okay, none heard. All those in favor indicate with aye.
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 A negative. All those contrary. Motion is passed. Okay, we do have 2 items on the agenda as was advertised in the special meeting notice. The first item is a loader lease extension, and I will pass the floor to Finance and Admin. Councillor Pomeroy, are you doing that one? Okay.
Yes, thank you, Your Worship. Just a little bit of information on this. The current lease on our loader, John Deere loader P644, has expired or will expire this month, and there's a recommendation to continue with that lease, so I'll put forward that recommendation right now. The FAP committee recommends that Council approve the lease extension for a 48-month term to Brandt Tractor for the John Deere P644 loader.
Okay, it's been moved by Councillor Pomeroy and the Finance and Admin Policy Committee that Council recommends that Council approve the lease extension for the 48-month term from Brandt for John Deere Tractor P644. Seconder?
I'll second that.
Seconded by Councillor Compton Hobbs. Discussion. Okay, none heard. All those in favor indicate with aye.
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 Contrary-minded? Passed. And our second item on our agenda is our budget for 2024. And I am pleased to pass the floor to our Chair of the Finance and Policy Committee, Councillor Pomeroy. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Mayor. As the Chair of Finance, Administration, and Policy Committee, it is my duty to present the Town of Happy Valley Goose Bay's 2024 municipal budget. Our task is not an easy one, especially when addressing the challenges posed by a budget that carries with it austerity measures and tax implications. Nevertheless, it is important that we present the facts transparently, even when those facts weigh heavily upon us all. Our fiscal landscape has shifted, and the numbers do not paint a rosy picture. The revenue shortfalls are real, and the demands on our public services continue to grow. We find ourselves at a crossroads where tough decisions must be made. However, let us not forget that challenges also present opportunities. As we navigate through these difficult financial times, we can seek creative solutions, explore partnerships, and find efficiencies. Our commitment to fiscal responsibility remains unwavering, even in the face of adversity. We had hoped to have presented this budget before the new year, but we needed more time to explore all avenues so that the decisions we make, though difficult, are done in the best interest of the community as a whole. I want to express my thanks to town staff who have helped in the preparation of this budget. Your patience and understanding is very much appreciated. In order to achieve a balanced budget, which this year is set at $15,587,673.04, we had two choices: postpone important and necessary water and sewer projects and other projects and services, or raise taxes. This year's budget will see residential property taxes increase by $500,000, bringing it from 7.25 to 7.5 mils. The commercial property tax will increase by $1 million. Our water and sewer infrastructure is the lifeline of our community, ensuring our health, safety, and well-being. Clean water is not a luxury, it is a fundamental right. Our water system provides safe drinking water, prevents diseases, and promotes public health. Similarly, the sewer system ensures proper disposal of wastewater, preventing contamination and safeguarding our environment. Reliable water and sewer services are essential for economic growth. Residents and businesses rely on these systems. A malfunctioning sewer system or issues with water distribution can disrupt daily lives and impact our business community. Which brings us to the proverbial elephant in the room: inflationary costs. Over the past few years, we have witnessed a steady rise in expenses in all areas of the town's operations, and we've had to make sacrifices. But we can't make sacrifices when it comes to maintaining and upgrading our water and sewer infrastructure. Here's why. Our pipes, lift stations, and pumps age over time. Repairing or replacing them becomes costlier as inflation erodes the town's purchasing power. The cost of materials, concrete, steel pipes, wood, chemicals, and so on has also increased dramatically, impacting our operational and capital expenses. Environmental regulations evolve, demanding better treatment processes, monitoring, and compliance. Meeting these standards requires investments, which are also subject to inflation. In order to keep up with the demands placed on us by rising inflation, and to ensure we continue to provide safe and efficient water and sewer systems, this budget will see the annual water and sewer tax increase by $48 per year, or $4 a month, less than $1 a week. As well, metered rates, water rates will increase by 35 cents, and sewer rates will increase by 25 cents per 1,000 gallons. The budget also appropriates funds for wage increases for town employees. Council remuneration will be frozen under this budget, pending a change in policy that will see the elimination of increases related to the cost of living. The business tax, as well as other fees, will remain unchanged. Aside from much-needed upgrades to parts of our water and sewer infrastructure, this budget will also allow for the reconstruction of the Loring Drive and Hamilton River Road intersection. Under this budget, the town will continue to provide a discount on property taxes that are paid early. The discount rate for 2024 is set at 3%. We realized the tax relief measures presented in this budget may not go far enough to alleviate the financial burden on vulnerable populations, particularly those on fixed incomes, and that further efforts need to be made to prioritize assistance to those who may struggle to keep up with increased costs. As a result, the thresholds for low-income relief program will increase by 2%. In other words, residential property owners with a household income of $26,322 or less will receive 100% property tax discount. On the high end, property owners with an annual household income of less than $48,639, but more than $41,200 will receive a 25% discount on their property taxes. I should also note that this low-income tax policy program is amongst the most generous in the country. As I stated from the onset, we had two choices: increased revenues or postpone and or eliminate projects and reduce services. In conclusion, presenting a municipal budget always presents challenges, with tough decisions to make and a constantly shifting fiscal landscape. This budget has been no exception, and we have worked hard to find a balanced approach that maintains fiscal responsibility while prioritizing critical projects that impact public health and safety. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Pomeroy. So, Councillor Pomeroy is moving the budget as he has presented, and on behalf of council, and he's making the motion. I need a seconder. Seconded by council.
Just point of order,
Yep.
Your Worship. There will be no motion required for the budget
motion.
to speak. The motion is separate. It would be a separate motion.
Okay. Have you, as the motion?
The motion is the first one to come after discussion.
Okay. But then if there's no motion, then there's no discussion. So,
That was just a speech, though.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So we'll do the discussion in the, when you
When I
make the
present the
motion.
motion.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. All right. So I thank you very much, Councillor Pomeroy. We have, as a result of the budget process, of course, we have a bunch of motions now, a number of motions that we'll deal with. The first one, of course, will be that of accepting the budget as we just heard in the speech. And for that, I will turn the floor to Councillor Pomeroy for that motion.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Be it resolved that the Town Council of the Town of Happy Valley Goose Bay approve and adopt the 2024 municipal budget for the Town of Happy Valley Goose Bay as per Section 7.7 of the Municipalities Act, 1999, with total revenues of $15,587,673.04 and total expenditures of $15,587,673.04.
Okay, it now has been moved by Councillor Pomeroy that we accept the 2024 municipal budget. Seconder? Okay, seconded by Councillor Rumble. Floor is open for discussion. Okay, well, I'm going to make a couple of points in terms of the discussion. And one of the things is that the budget is a little bit late, and we all recognize that, but it's not because of anything outside of priorities that staff were involved in terms of auditing, previous audits trying to get done. And as well, you know, there was a lot of discussion. I'm not sure how many sessions we had or meetings that we had, but it was a continuous discussion. But I will assure that next year's budget will be started much earlier and prepared for the December 1st deadline. Any other discussion?
Can I have
Councillor
two?
Compton House, yeah?
I'd just like to acknowledge the staff and their commitment for all their hours that they have contributed to this budget. I especially want to thank Director of Finance Mike Dollamont for his unlimited time and availability to see this process through. I put a lot of thought into this budget process, and you know, I'd like to say to the Mayor and Council to let them know that I respect your choice on whichever way you will decide to vote on this budget. I know nobody around this table wants to increase the commercial and residential property tax or water and sewer tax. You know, and like most of you, we're involved with many organizations and groups in Happy Valley Goose Bay. And like all of us, I often hear firsthand about the financial hardships that many people are facing with the increased cost of living. I've had conversations with low-income, fixed-income, middle-class, senior population. I feel as an elected council member it's my duty to represent the voices of all these people who elected me. We all know that the cost of living has increased in every area. Some of the residents that I have spoken to are making some harsh decisions of choosing between medication, food, hydro, as they don't have the financial means to support all these expenses. Some of these residents are only one paycheck away from becoming homeless. While I understand the importance of water and sewer upgrades and other projects in our town, I cannot support a tax increase at this time on the backs of residents who are already struggling. Seniors on fixed incomes who don't qualify for the low-income discount rate will endure financial hardship to secure another $200 or $300 a year with these new property tax and water and sewer increases. So I just wanted to let the public know why I'm voting the way I am when we vote.
And could I ask you what options you could offer to the extensive conversation that we had about why we had to move the way we did?
The only option, like Councilor Pomeroy had mentioned, would be to not do the projects at this time. So that would be the only option right now, is if we put the projects on hold for another year.
Yeah. And I just, and, you know, from my perspective, we've put some projects on hold. We're at a point now where some of the projects, on recommendations of staff, are critical, especially in the water side of it with pump houses and things like that. So, you know, if we put off things, you know, won't look much better next year in terms of having to spend these projects. So my fear would be that, you know, if we don't do work now, we're going to be faced down the road with a huge bill of trying to maintain existing and then ongoing sort of thing, which would potentially result in, you know, unknown increases at that time. So, any
Yes,
other discussion? Councillor Brumfield? Yeah, just
sorry.
yeah, okay, I'll come back. Councillor Brumfield?
Yes, thank you, Your Worship. I'm in agreement with Councillor Compton-House on a lot of the points you mentioned. I don't necessarily agree with the end result, how it's done, but I'd like to point out we're now basically halfway through our term, this one. After this budget, we do got one more budget left for us, and that's it, okay? So what I want to basically just mention is that when we first got on, we were basically 3 years behind on audit, so we're getting caught up. We're still behind, but we're on our audit now, not the previous council. So we know basically what has been done and how things have been going since we got here, okay? So other than that, once we're up to date with our audits, I think hopefully, which will be by next year, hopefully we should be able to know where exactly we stand and sit as a council for our term too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Councillor Compton, or I'll go to Councillor Compton House first.
Mayor, I was just going to say, you know, like I said, I understand the importance of projects, and one close, near and dear to my heart is the trails. And I know Rick Dawes listening tonight,
Yep.
and very disappointed that's one that we're not going to get at either.
Yeah.
You know, hopefully down the road we'll figure out some way to get some funding for the trails. You know, Councilor Broomfield talked about the audit. You know, the audits behind on the audits is one thing, but it's also this Capital Crane lease that, you know, I wouldn't have supported. I wasn't there, but I wouldn't have supported. It's a $500,000 bill a year, so you know, that's $500,000 we could have had. I wasn't there for the discussions, so I can't speak too much on it. It was before my time, but.
Sure. Yeah. Councillor Rumbold.
Thank you, Mayor. Like others have said, I would like to express my appreciation to the town staff that spent so much time working with us as we prepared this budget. I'd also like to thank each of you, my colleagues, who, I mean, we were here and we brainstormed and we threw ideas back and forth, and there were things that, I mean, we were all on the same page with, things that we disagreed with. I think everything that we've done with respect for each other's opinions. This was difficult, and really thank you to Councillor Pomeroy for summarizing in his speech the importance of why we made the decisions that we made. This is not a luxury budget. The projects that we were able to proceed with and that did result in us having to make some tough financial decisions, I think I sat in a meeting and I likened it to driving along in my car with my check engine light on and not knowing when my car is going to break down, and if you don't spend the money on maintenance. So unfortunately, I feel like our water and sewer system is so precarious right now. We have aging infrastructure. There are people that, like in, you know, if they have to get a fire hydrant replaced in Spruce Park, they say, no, it's an antique. It's something that you could sell on these Canadian picker shows because you don't see them anymore. That's not a great claim to fame to say that our pipes and our water fixtures are antique. So we have to, the check engine light is on, we have to invest the money or we're going to end up with a larger bill. It's not pleasant. It's not something any of us wanted to see happen. I'm very relieved that as a part of Councillor Pomeroy's speech, he mentioned that we have been able to maintain, not just maintain, increase the thresholds for the low-income tax relief. We're still able to offer a discount for early payment. There are things that we said, you know, we acknowledge the financial hardship that some people are suffering. So these are measures that we're going to do to hopefully, you know, let the citizens know that we are doing our very, very best. And like I said, I appreciate the hard work that went into this from all hands involved.
Thank you. Councillor Palmer.
Yeah, and what Councillor Compton Hobbs said, I mean, I totally agree with what she's saying. I mean, there are people in this community that may find this budget hard. And it was a difficult decision to make. What stuck in my mind, and I mentioned it to some councillors as well as yourself, Mayor, I ran into a gentleman a few months back at the grocery store, and he said he can only basically come in and afford to look because he couldn't afford to purchase the stuff that he wanted to purchase before, and that really struck a nerve with me. And when we looked at every scenario and all this, this is what we came up with that would have the least impact on the community overall from a tax perspective. We talked about a one mil increase that would have been double what half mil is, and without the change in water, actually the savings would be an extra $100 a year by going the way we went instead of going with a 1 mil rate. It's not an easy decision to make. We were informed by our staff that there are some critical improvements or upgrades that need to be made to the water and sewer distribution system. And without those critical updates, we're running a huge risk of equipment failure, and then we'll be in a much bigger mess than what we're in. And to break it down, if you look at a $300,000 home assessed value, a half mil increase would work out to an extra $150 a year, broken down to just over $12 a month. The water and sewer increase works out to $4 a month. I mean, you can't go to Tim Hortons for a coffee for much less than that. So, I mean, I'm not trying to minimize it, but if we looked at it overall in the big picture over a course of a year, nobody wants to see tax increases, but we need to improve or to upgrade our systems. Also, you know, the cost of living has gone crazy, and the town is not immune. The cost of everything has gone up. The town has to pay a lot more for things than it did 2 years ago. And that will continue as long as we're in the financial times that we're in and inflationary pressures put upon us. And interest rates are higher. So the town is not immune to that. And, you know, we've been holding our own for a number of years with very little minor adjustments to taxes. This I don't see as a major tax increase. It's one that's to some will be significant, but from the community overall, you know, we have to look at the community overall, and it's unfortunate that we have to do it, but like I said, tough decisions got to be made, and that's what we're elected to do.
Thank you, Councillor Palmer. And yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And it's not to say that other projects are off the table from a council perspective. We are looking and exploring at other options, revenue streams that aren't at our fingertips available right now, but with some provincial legislation changes could come to us. So we're looking at that. It's all about balance and trying to achieve balance. Nobody wanted a tax increase, absolutely not. You know, we all would have liked to done all our infrastructure projects that we had listed, but you know, unfortunately, it's just not in the cards this year. So I think balance-wise is great. From a staff perspective, they should be sainted, because some of the discussions, I'm sure, sitting in the room listening to us was difficult, but they handled it very well. It's Mike's first, Mr. Dallamont's first, I guess, budget process as DFO. So, you know, guided by the CAO, there was many countless meetings, and as Councillor Rumbold alluded, A lot of discussion, heated discussion, respectful discussion, but it's about achieving balance, and I think that's what we've come up here this evening. Councillor Winters.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, all around the table, thank you for the time and effort, especially DFO Mike Dahlma. Yeah, these are very, very difficult decisions, and no, we don't want to raise taxes, but I think that what we were presented with and the decisions and the situation that we're in, I think was that this is probably the most creative and balanced thing we can do, so that all expenses are across the board and not one side or the other. I just think it's we do need the water and sewer straightened away. We do need the safety upgrades on the road intersection up at Loring Drive, and yeah, it's unfortunate that taxes have to go up. And going back to what Councillor Broomfield stated, is once we find out once we get our audit straightened away, we're going to find out a better situation that we may be in. Maybe we'll be able to borrow more money. Maybe we'll be able to do some things more creatively. So. Again, thanks, Mike and staff for all your work into this, and council as well.
And I'll just make the last point here. In terms of hardship, yes, hardship, everybody's feeling it, no matter where you go, store, etc. But if for some reason you don't be able to come in under the our programs now for particular income levels and tax relief, I know our staff, Kelsey and others, are more than welcome, more than happy to sit down and discuss options for folks to continue, and we'll work with anybody in terms of trying to make it as soft a landing for folks as we can. Any other discussion?
Check with deputy.
Nope, she has. Oh. Any other discussion? All right, so hearing none, I will call for the vote. It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor of budget 2024 indicate with aye.
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 Contrary-minded? Motion is passed. Okay, as this is a special meeting and there are only 2 items advertised, that is our meeting for this evening, and I will.
No.
Oh,
We got a whole lot.
yeah. Sorry. Yeah, there we go. Now that the budget is passed, we got all the work behind the scenes. I apologize for that. Okay, so 2024 municipal tax rates. I will pass for property tax, I'll pass the chair over to Councillor Pomeroy for, we'll do each one separate, right?
Thank you, Mayor. Be it resolved that pursuant to Section 112 of the Municipalities Act 1999, the Town Council of the Town of Happy Valley Goose may approve one uniform property residential mill rate of 7.75 mills. Property tax commercial rate of 12 mills, and a minimum non-vacant property tax rate of $50 as set out in the Policy and Procedures Manual titled Taxes and Rates, policy number F0001, as the property tax for 2024.
Okay, it's moved by Councillor Pomeroy that the Town Council of Happy Valley Goose Bay approve one uniform property tax residential mill rate as has been presented, and a property tax mill rate, and a minimum non-tax property tax rate of $50. Seconded by Councillor Broomfield. Discussion? All those in favor indicate with aye. Aye.
Aye.
Just going to ask a question here. Can we, yeah, okay, they're different. All right, sorry. I was just going to try to make it easier for my understanding the budget, the resolution. Okay, the next one, sir?
Contraminded?
Contrary-minded?
You said all in favor.
Oh, sorry. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Aye.
indicate with aye. Contrary-minded?
Contraminded.
Aye.
Okay. Motion is passed. Next one, sir?
Be it resolved that pursuant to Section 112 of the Municipalities Act 1999, the Town Council of the Town of Happy Valley Goose Bay approved a minimum vacant commercial property tax of $3,750 as set out in the Policy and Procedures Manual titled Taxes and Rates, policy number F0001, as the property tax for 2024.
Okay, moved by Councillor Pomeroy that Town Council of Happy Valley Goose Bay approve the minimum vacant commercial property tax rate of $3,750 as set out in policy manual taxes and rates F0001. Seconded by Councillor Winters. Discussion. All those in favor indicate with aye.
Aye.
Contrary-minded? Passed. Okay, we're going to move to water and sewer adjustments, and Councillor Winters.
Thank you, Mayor. Water and sewer rates. Be it resolved that pursuant to Section 130 of the Municipalities Act of 1999, the Town Council of the Town of Happy Valley Goose Bay approve the sewer tax rate of $327 per year and the water tax rate of $256 per year as set out in the Policies and Procedures Manual titled Taxes and Rates, Policy Number F0001, and Water and Sewer Rates, Policy Number F008, as the water and sewer rates for 2024.
Okay, it's moved by Councillor Winters that the Town Council of Happy Valley Goose Bay approve the sewer rate tax of $327 per year and the water tax rate of $256 per year as set out in the Policy and Procedures Manual, and the policy number F0001 and the policy number F0008. Seconded by Councillor Rumbold. Discussion? All those in favor indicate with aye.
Aye.
Contrary-minded?
Contrary-minded.
Record note that Councillor Compton Hobbs is contrary-minded on that motion, please. Okay, we've accepted that motion. It's passed. Next one, sir.
Thank you, Mayor. Be it resolved that pursuant to Section 130 of the Municipalities Act 1999, the Town Council of the Town of Happy Valley Goose Bay approve and adopt the water metered rate of $3.85 per 1,000 gallons of water consumed, and the water metered sewer, the metered sewer rate tax rate at $2.25 per 1,000 gallons of water consumed for clients using water meters, as set out in the Policy and Procedures Manual titled Taxes and Rates, Policy Number F0001, and Water and Sewer Rates, Policy Number F008, as the water meter rates and sewer meter rates for 2024.
Okay, it's moved by Councillor Winters that the Town Council of Happy Valley Goose Bay approve and adopt water metered rates of $3.85 per 1,000 gallons consumed and metered sewer tax rate of $2.25 per 1,000 gallons of water consumed. Is that correct? For the sewer? Okay. For clients using water meters, as set out in the policy tax and rates of policy number F0001 and the water and sewer rates policy F0008. Seconder? Okay. Councillor Brumfield? I'm just trying to think here. Discussion. And I just want clarification. Is it the sewer rates, 1,000 gallons of water consumed? Is that correct? Or in the sewer rates? Okay. Okay, no, just checking. Okay, any further discussion? Yeah, meters. Yeah. Okay, no further discussion. All those in favor indicate with aye.
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 Contrary-minded?
Contrary-minded.
Contrary-minded. All right, that's passed. And now the next one, sir.
Business tax. Be it resolved that pursuant to Section 120 of the Municipalities Act 1999, the Town Council of the Town of Happy Valley Goose Bay approve and adopt the business tax rates as set out in the Policy and Procedures Manual titled Taxes and Rates, Policy Number F0001, as the business tax rates and utility tax rate for 2024.
Okay, it's moved by Councillor Winters that the Town Council of Happy Valley Goose Bay approve and adopt business tax rates as set out in the Policy and Procedures Manual, Tax and Rates, Policy F0001, as the business tax rates for and utility tax rates for 2024. Seconded by Councillor Rumbold. Discussion? Okay, all those in favor indicate with aye.
Aye.
Contrary-minded?
Contrary-minded.
Okay, contrary-minded, that motion is passed. All right, we're going to go into town fees for service and equipment rentals. And I pass the floor to Councillor Brumfield.
Thank you, Your Worship. I have the honor today of doing two resolutions dealing with the arena fees and the ball rental fees. And the first one is the arena fees. Be it resolved that the Town Council of the Town of Happy Valley Goose Bay approve and adopt the arena fees set out in the Policy and Procedures Manual titled Arena Fees Policy Number F0002 for 2024.
Okay, it's moved by Councillor Brumfield that the Town of Happy Valley Goose Bay approve and adopt the arena fees as set out in the Policy and Procedures Manual. Arena fees number F0002 for 2024. Seconded by Councillor Winters, discussion? Councillor
I
Rumble.
was just-
Councillor Rumble, please.
Sorry.
Yeah, I come right to
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to ask or to clarify that, so with some of our other resolutions, we have had dollar amounts and whatnot read. So with these ones, I just wanted to make sure residents that are interested in viewing these rates, they're posted on our webpage, correct? And they can go in and actually look up F0002 to view the 2024 rates? Okay.
Okay, Councillor Palmer, or Councillor Compton Hobbs.
I was just gonna say, under these, arena fees, is where the, hockey skate and casual skating and all them fees fall under. Actually, someone mentioned it to me yesterday that how ridiculous it is to charge $5 for someone to go to do, hockey skate or, you know, noon hour skate. I know that it was eliminated in the past, but the fees are back there now, so I don't think it's a huge amount of money. But this do fall under there, right? Them fees? Yes. Yeah.
Would they have been eliminated for, at any other period of time? During
when-
COVID maybe, or?
When the arena was shut down during COVID, well, obviously there was no skating going ahead, and when it did came up, it was on such limited that there was no fees charged until we got picked up to more normal operations, and then they were reinstated.
Okay. And they're reinstated to the levels that they were. We haven't increased it. Well, we adjusted some last year,
I
didn't we?
believe it was adjusted in 2022.
2022, yeah.
It was
Okay.
my understanding, Mayor, that, well, I know, because I was there, that it was to promote physical activity, to get more people out to take away the small amount fee that they were charging.
Sure.
And I think it was only, I think it was only like $2 at the time, or $3 at the time.
Free, yeah.
And it was to promote a healthy lifestyle.
Yep.
And it was probably in place for a number of years prior to COVID. And
I'm sure that's something we can look at, but this is the whole entire fee. So
I mean,
we have till
it's not like
March.
there's people lined up at the door waiting
Yeah.
to get in, you know
We-
what I mean?
we can-
It's like
we can
not
make
a huge
adjustments up.
number.
Yeah, we can make adjustments to the end of March, right? Before
Yeah.
we had to publish them,
Yeah.
for sure. So that's maybe something we can look at for sure. But again, then, you know, it comes back to what we talked about tonight. It's, you know, the money side of stuff and what investments we make. So that might be a really good idea. All right. So any other discussion? Okay. All those in favor of the motion indicate with aye.
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 Contrary-minded?
Contraminded.
Contrary-minded? Okay, we passed that one. The next one, Councillor Brumfield?
Okay, my final one deals with the ball field rental fees. Be it resolved that the town council of the town of Happy Valley Goose Bay approve and adopt the ball field rental fees set out in the policy and procedures manual titled Ball Field Rental Fees, policy number F0003 for 2024.
Okay, it's moved by Councillor Brumfield that the Town Council of Happy Valley Goose Bay approve and adopt the ball field rental fees as set out in the policy manual. Ball field rental fees, policy F0003. Seconded by? Seconded by Councillor Winters. Discussion?
I mean, I've just got an item to question there.
Yep.
Where would the MMC soccer field and those fees
They're-
be located?
Yeah.
F002?
They're in the ball field, yep.
So they're under a combined ball field rental.
Looking at the CAO here now, and she's got it there. Stand by.
Policy F003 is for Husky Park, Minor Field, MMC Soccer Field, Minor Soccer Youth, and MMC Soccer Pitch Canteen.
Is it titled ball
Wonderful.
field rental fees?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Does that answer
Thank
your
you very
question? Okay.
Absolutely.
Any other discussion? Okay, none heard. All those in favor indicate with aye. Aye.
Aye.
Contrary-minded? Passed. All right, we're going to move into miscellaneous rates, and it'll be Councillor Compton House. Floor is yours.
Thank you, Mayor. Be it resolved that the Town Council of the Town of Happy Valley Goose Bay approve and adopt the miscellaneous rates set out in the Policy and Procedures Manual titled Miscellaneous Rates, policy number F0005 for 2024.
Okay, moved by Councillor Compton Hobbs that the Town Council of Happy Valley Goose Bay approve and adopt the miscellaneous rates as set out in the Policy and Procedures Manual. Miscellaneous rates, Policy F0005 for 2024. Seconded by Councillor Pomeroy. Discussion? Okay, none heard. All those in favor indicate with aye. Aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded? Passed. Next one, please.
Be it resolved that the Town Council of the Town of Happy Valley Goose Bay approve and adopt the municipal rates, equipment rates set out in the Policy and Procedures Manual titled Municipal Rates, Equipment Rates, policy number F0006 for 2024.
Okay, moved by Councillor Compton Hobbs that the Town Council of Happy Valley Goose Bay approve and adopt municipal rates, equipment rates set out in the Policy and Procedures Manual, municipal rates, equipment rates, policy number F0006 for 2024. Seconded by Councillor Rumbold. Discussion? Okay, all those in favor indicate with aye. Aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded? Passed. Councillor Compton Hobbs.
Be it resolved that the Town Council of the Town of Happy Valley Goose Bay approve and adopt the Animal Control Services rates set out in the Policy and Procedures Manual titled Cost of Animal Control Services, policy number F0007 for 2024.
Moved by Councillor Compton Hobbs that the Town Council of Happy Valley Goose Bay approve and adopt animal control service rates as set out in the Policy and Procedures Manual titled the same, policy number F0007 for 2024. Seconded by Councillor Winters. Discussion? None heard. All those in favor indicate with aye. Aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded? Passed. And I should have prefaced these motions by, it's part of our budget process that we have to do, and we have to do the motions to accept the tax rates for the year. So that's why we're doing it in the fashion that we are. All right, the next one is property tax, residential and business tax exemptions, and I will pass the floor to Councillor Rumble.
Thank you, Your Worship. I have the final two. So the first one being, be it resolved that the Town Council of the Town of Happy Valley Goose Bay approve and adopt the property tax low-income relief policy, business and property tax nonprofit organizations and groups exemption policy, doctors' property tax exemption, and young entrepreneurs' business application and business tax exemption as set out in the Policy and Procedures Manual titled Property Tax, Residential and Business Tax Exemption, policy number F0009.
Okay, it's moved by Councillor Rumbold that the Town Council of Happy Valley Goose Bay approve and adopt the property tax low-income relief policy, business and property tax nonprofit organizations and groups exemption policy, doctors' property tax exemption, and the young entrepreneurs business application and the business tax exemption as set out in the policy property tax and business tax exemptions, policy F0009. Seconded by?
I'll second that.
Seconded by Councillor Compton Hobbs. Discussion? None heard. All those in favor indicate with aye.
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 Contrary minded? Passed. And the final motion.
Our final item this evening, be it resolved that the Town Council of the Town of Happy Valley Goose Bay approve and adopt the recreational property tax rebate policy as set out in the Policy and Procedures Manual titled Recreational Property Tax Rebate Policy, policy number F0010.
It's moved by Councillor Rumbold that the Town Council of Happy Valley Goose Bay approve and adopt the recreational property tax rebate policy as set out in the same policy, policy number F0010. Seconded by? Seconded by Councillor Pomeroy. Discussion? Floor is yours, sir. Councillor Brimfield.
I just want to give, I guess, an update or something on this one here, really, because we're talking about recreational property tax rebate policy. But is this only for a rebate that's only available for people who live in the, basically the recreational all year round, or is it just seasonal?
I'm going to put the question to the CEO.
Recreational properties are meant to be not lived in year-round. They're to be treated as a recreational property only, so you have an additional property. You own a property, I'll say in town proper, and you have an additional recreational property.
But what's the purpose of the rebate, though? What are we rebating?
Did you want
The
to pass
value
it?
of the
If I could
second.
jump-
Yep,
I'll go back to.
I'll read it out.
Yeah, if I
Yeah.
can jump in there, Mayor, like,
second, no, we're gonna let her read it out,
Okay.
just to, so it's clear. Or you can pass it to Councillor, whatever you wish, Councillor Pomeroy.
All persons owning recreational real property in the municipality may be eligible for a full rebate on those seasonal residences that are accessible only by boat, snowmobile, ATV, etc. The following criteria must be met. The applicant must be in good standing on all properties owned by the applicant. The recreational property must not be the applicant's principal residence. The recreational property must not be connected into municipal water and sewer services. The recreational property must not be connected into local hydro utilities. The recreational property must not have year-round access by public road. The recreational property owner must provide a photograph of the property. Those who qualify for an exemption will not be required to submit application in subsequent years. In lieu of an annual tax invoice, an annual letter will be issued to owners confirming ownership of recreational property. If the property is sold, seller is responsible to notify the town of purchaser's home mailing address as well as the sale price, and a new application will be required from the new owner. Did that answer your question?
It does, yeah, it'll be due for now.
Okay.
I think it relates back to the days of the cabin tax. Okay, any other discussion on that one? Or did you want to add anything to that?
No, that's fine.
Okay. None heard. All those in favor indicate with aye.
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 Contrary-minded? Passed. Okay, so now that the formalities are over of the budget, we'll move to item 4 on the agenda, which is the motion to adjourn.
I'll motion to adjourn.
Moved by Council, sorry? Okay.
Good one thing. Sorry, our MHA, Perry Trimper, usually attends the budget meeting every year. Unfortunately, this year he was not able to make it, but he did pass along his regrets and congratulations to council on their passing of the 2024 budget.
Yep, and he did send a text to me just before I came, and I just want to send out all our positive love and hope and prayers to Perry and his family.
Absolutely.
I usually ask, and you don't mention anything, so.
Well, that's usually after.
Do you have anything else to bring before council for proceed to close? Okay. All right, so we're moving to item number 4, which is the motion to adjourn. It's been made by Councillor Compton Haas, seconded by Councillor Rumbold. All those in favor indicate with aye. Aye. Contrary-minded.
Aye.
And thank you for joining on online, Deputy Mayor. And meeting's adjourned.